Hello students, today we are going to read about the next chapter of your book, and that is cell structure and functions. Now we will read about the discovery of cell. An Englishman, Robert Hooke, discovered the cell in 1665. What did he observe? He observed thin slices of a cork under his crude microscope. A cork is a part of a bark of a tree. Hooke observed that a slice of cork is made up of tiny honeycomb like compartments, one on top of the others, as shown in the figure. He named these compartments as cell. It was much later that scientists discovered that all living things are made up of cells. However, even 150 years after Hooke's discovery, very little was known about the cell until improved microscopes with high magnification were made. In 1838, 1839 and 1855, three scientists they gave some theory about the cell, that all living organisms are made up of cell. Cells are the basic structural and functional unit of a living organism, and new cell arise from pre-existing cells by cell division. And every organism starts its life as a single cell. In this slide you can see a compound microscope is there, and in the next slide you will see an electronic microscope which is used nowadays, or you can say a better version of electron microscope is there nowadays. Now students, we will discuss about unicellular and multicellular organisms. As you already know that cells are the smallest basic functional unit of any living organism. So when we talk about a single celled animal, it is known as unicellular organisms, or you can say that the organisms made up of a single cell are called unicellular organisms. Example: amoeba, paramecium, euglena, etc. The single cell of these organisms behave like a complete organism. All the basic functions of a living being like digestion, respiration, excretion and reproduction are performed by a single cell only. Organisms made up of many cells are called multicellular organisms. Most of the plants and animals that we see around us are multicellular organisms. Trees, grasses, insects, cows, birds, humans are few examples of multicellular organisms. All multicellular organisms begin their life as a single cell. All multicellular organisms, including human beings, show division of labor. It means that different parts of a multicellular organism perform different functions. For example, human being has stomach to digest food, heart to pump blood. Now we will read about the levels of organization from cell to organism. In multicellular organisms, cell represent the lowest level of organization. In this slide, you are seeing all the levels which are present in a multicellular organism. A group of similar cells performing a specific function join together to form a tissue. Here at the bottom you are seeing cell, and when we talk about that a group of cells are there, then they make up tissues. Now for example, all skin linings are formed of epithelial tissues. Different types of tissues, they form together an organ by joining. For example, stomach, liver, pancreas, etc. Now every organ performs a specific function. For example, stomach helps in digestion of food, pancreas secretes digestive juices, etc. Now all these organs, they work together to perform a specific life function or form an organ system. Now when we talk about these organ systems, so these organ systems make up a living organism. In this way the organization is present from cell to the organism. Now we will read about the shapes of the cell. Cell shows a great variation in their shapes, such as spherical, spindle-shaped, elongated, oval-shaped, branched. Some cells may not have definite shape, that is, they have changing shapes. Example, amoeba and white blood cells. The shape of a cell helps in its functioning. For example, a nerve cell is a very long and has wire-like projection coming out of it. These projections help the nerve cells carry messages and send it to all the parts of the body. Muscle cells expand and contract. Their long, thin shape helps them to do this. All the cell components are enclosed in a membrane which provides shape to every plant and animal cell. Now we will talk about the size of the cell. The cells of animals and plants show a great variation in their sizes. Most cells are extremely small, so we cannot see them with the help of our naked eye. We have to see them with the help of a microscope. However, a few cells are quite large and can be seen with the naked eye. For example, the largest living cell is the egg of an ostrich, which is about 170 mm in diameter. Nerve cell has tails which may be as long as 3 meters as in an elephant. The smallest cell known to man is the bacterial cell. The size of a cell is measured in micrometer or micron. A micrometer is a unit for measuring very minute lengths. 1 micron is equal to 1 millionth of a meter. The size of cell has no relation with the body size of the organism. The cells of a very big animal, for example elephant, is not bigger than the cell of a small animal like rat. The size of cell is related to its function. For example, the nerve cell of both rat and elephant are long and branched, which perform the same functions of transmitting messages. Okay students, this is all for today, and we will continue this chapter in the next video, and we will read about the animal cell and plant cell.